Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
Not too fast. The stark new warning to Congress about reopening the country too quickly.
It depends on what you mean by containment. If you think that we have it completely under control, we don't.
What an unreleased White House report is showing about the new emerging hotspots in Middle America, plus what you need to know about the crisis here at home. But first, here at noon, we begin with some pretty big breaking news. A judge has just dismissed charges against ex-Michigan State President Luana K. Simon, arising from the whole Larry Nassar sex assault scandal. Simon was ordered to trial last year on charges that she lied to police about her knowledge of a sexual misconduct complaint against Nassar, who was a campus doctor and is now serving decades in prison. Of course, you want to stick with us here at Local 4 and on clickondetroit.com for further updates on this story. And before we get to our coronavirus news updates, we do want to share this video for you. It's actually cockpit video and a view of the Blue Angels in flight over Detroit. As you might remember, on Tuesday, the iconic U.S. Navy Blue Angels flew over parts of Metro Detroit as a way to honor those on the front lines of the coronavirus fight. And this is a unique perspective of such an incredible show of support. Now, we do want to get you caught up on what you need to know regarding the pandemic and the latest numbers. As of our last update Tuesday afternoon, there were 90 confirmed deaths from COVID-19. And in total, we've lost more than 4,600 people to the virus. Michigan now has more than 48,000 confirmed cases. This is up 469 cases. New updates have been coming mid-afternoon. We do expect recovery numbers to be updated as well on Saturday. Right now, they're more than 22,000. We'll have all the latest for you as soon as we get that information on clickondetroit.com and on our mobile app. Making headlines now out of Lansing, Michigan says 31,000 or nearly 2/3 of state employees will take temporary layoff days through late July as the state confronts a budget shortfall. The plan lets employees work fewer hours but collect partial unemployment benefits to make up a portion of lost wages. Now, for many, the furloughs will be 2 layoff days per 2-week period, and they're going to start Sunday and go through July 25th. Also making headlines, the state Senate is meeting to discuss Governor Gretchen Whitmer's executive order requiring seniors who test positive for the coronavirus to be brought to regional hubs. Our Rod Maloney joins us now live this afternoon with a look at what's being discussed. Rod?
Yeah, you know, Evrod, it was a hearing this morning by the Senate Oversight Committee on COVID-19, and it's a bipartisan committee that looks at how it is being managed. And one of the larger concerns here is the notion of taking COVID-positive patients and putting them in the same building as COVID-negative patients. In other states, they've said no to that anymore. But the state of Michigan policy basically says that that's the way it needs to be. Now, there were a lot of questions asked and answered. One of the questions was, have there been inspections of nursing homes? And the state is saying that 253 of the 460 nursing homes in the state have been inspected in the last 30 days or so. They also say that $5,000 a head is being paid to these nursing homes, these 21 hubs now. There used to be 19, but they're being paid to these hubs. But a lot of things weren't answered, and a couple of the representatives and senators that we spoke with today are deeply concerned about this policy.
So to not outfit those facilities to handle the very population that they said would need it seems ridiculous to me. And then we dump another $5,000 per bed for the hubs. So we're just doling money out left and right and not looking at how to put things together to protect people, to preserve life in nursing homes with the seniors.
The data that we do have says this is absolutely the worst thing that we should be doing. So I'm beyond frustrated. I'm extraordinarily concerned. This is what's keeping me up at night.
One of the things that Leslie Love from Detroit, the state representative, was talking about was the construction of the Tcf Center. A lot of money spent on that. And originally the state wanted seniors who were testing positive for COVID to go there, but they never did. And instead now they're going to these regional hubs. Still a lot of deep concern about this. We're going to have more coming up on Local 4 News at 5 and 6, but we'll also let you know that coming up next week there's going to be yet another hearing on this very subject to get some more answers. So reporting live from Lansing, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
All righty, Rod, thank you for the update there. President Trump's one-time campaign chairman has been released from federal prison because of the coronavirus. Paul Manafort will serve the rest of his sentence in home confinement. As you know, Manafort was serving more than 7 years in prison for financial crimes and illegal lobbying. He was one of the first people to be charged in special counsel Robert Mueller's Russia investigation. Manafort's lawyers asked the Bureau of Prisons to release the 71-year-old, arguing that he was at high risk because of his age and pre-existing medical conditions. The nation's top doctors delivered an unfiltered view of the coronavirus crisis, and among them, Dr. Anthony Fauci, telling a Senate committee the virus is not under control and that moving too fast to reopen the country could backfire. Right now, there are more than 1,300,000 confirmed coronavirus cases in the United States. More than 82,000 Americans have died. That's according to a Johns Hopkins University database. But let's take a closer look at what happened at Tuesday's Senate hearing.
A warning from the nation's top health experts on the coronavirus pandemic that's ravaging the country.
It's important to emphasize that we're not out of the woods yet.
More than 80,000 people in the United States have died after testing positive for the virus. Dr. Anthony Fauci, a key member of the White House coronavirus task force, cautioned the death toll is likely higher and predicted dire consequences if states open too soon.
My concern is that we will start to see little spikes that might turn into outbreaks.
The Senate Committee on Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions hearing showcased just how much COVID-19 has disrupted everyday life. Senator Lamar Alexander chaired the committee while in self-quarantine. Witnesses testified remotely, and some on Capitol Hill wore masks. But the social distancing didn't stop the tension.
And as much as I respect you, Dr. Fauci, I don't think you're the end all. I don't think you're the one person that gets to make a decision.
I'm a scientist, a physician, and a public health official. I give advice according to the best scientific evidence.
Finding an effective vaccine is crucial to beating COVID-19. While there are some promising developments, experts say a vaccine is not expected by the time students return to school this fall.
The idea of having treatments available or a vaccine would be something that would be a bit of a bridge too far.
And while the coronavirus outbreak appears to be easing in some places, the fight is far from over.
I think we're going in the right direction. But the right direction does not mean we have, by any means, total control of this outbreak.
And while much of the focus surrounding coronavirus has been on big cities, new infections suggest a shift in the outbreak from major coastal communities to the country's heartland. An unpublished coronavirus task force report obtained by NBC News shows that the top 10 areas with the largest week-over-week increase in cases are spread throughout the central and southern regions. The stock market is down today, and this is due in large part to a gloomy outlook from the Federal Reserve Chairman on the impact of the coronavirus. The Dow Jones Industrials average started the day dropping more than 100 points and has remained in negative territory. Fed Chairman Jerome Powell said that he sees what he calls downside risk for the near future of the economy. And he also adds that the recovery for the economy might come at a pace slower than many have expected. Today's trading losses have hit Detroit's automakers. Stocks for General Motors, Ford, and Fiat Chrysler are all down for the day. And as always, clickondetroit.com packed for you with useful information to help get you through this crisis. Just go to clickondetroit.com/coronavirus. All right, let's switch gears a bit and take a quick look at our forecast as we give you a beautiful view of Comerica Park right now. Meteorologist Brandon Rue is standing by for us live this afternoon with a look at what we can expect. Brandon?
And the universal sound of lawnmowers, landscaping, work outside is happening, and it's a great day for it. We have temperatures in the low 50s right now and light winds. They are coming from the southeast, so just slightly cooler than we'd like, but lower 50s in all four zones right now. We are on our way to about 60 degrees. We'll see a gradual degree or two increase per hour heading through the afternoon. A warmer Wednesday than perhaps what we saw yesterday. At least the winds are lighter, and that is good news. We will see a much different story playing out tomorrow with showers and storms, a severe risk as well, Evrod, coming up.
All righty, Brandon, thank you. Also making headlines this afternoon, the man who stabbed a grandfather to death at a Utica park will spend life in prison. Miguel Mansauer was 22 in 2018 when he attacked Mike Sharita in Grant Park. Sharita was attending a first birthday party and reportedly asked Mansauer to stop doing drugs in that park. Well, Mansauer was found guilty but mentally ill, and today he was sentenced to life without parole. And Detroit police believe that speed is the cause of a rollover crash on the Lodge Freeway that happened earlier this morning around 2 a.m. right there on the southbound exit ramp at Linwood. Investigators say that a 45-year-old man rolled over on the ramp and he was taken to the hospital where he died from his injuries. There is an investigation that's still going on. And a semi-driver had an incredibly close call. This was earlier this morning as well, right there on I-75 near 9 Mile. That big hole there was caused by a tire that went right through the passenger side of the windshield. And fortunately, they are okay, the people that were in that semi-truck. So to come here, new alert, an alarming rise of reports of that mysterious illness in children.
It is rare, but it is here.
The CDC now preparing to issue a nationwide warning. Just ahead, the telltale signs that parents need to look out for.